Welcome to the Rob and Kale Show. Rob Sanders.
Communicating. Keeping up foreign relations.
And Kale Hall.
Giving him the bird. The finger.
Yes, I know the finger.
The Rob and Kale Podcast.
And welcome into the Rob and Kale Podcast. My name is Rob Sanders. About co-host, he's in the upstate. He is, of course, Carolina Jackpot. Jackpot, what's up, brother?
Tonight I'm known as California Jackpot. I don't know why my name's not down on the little banner there. It must be another one of our famous snafus, but I am California Jackpot this evening. Glad to be here.
Heads Carolina, tails California, somewhere greener, somewhere warmer, up in the mountains, down by the
there we go.
There you go.
Somewhere together, I got a quarter. Heads Carolina, tails California.
All right, enough of that.
Hey, that's plagiarism.
That's not plagiarism.
It's something. It's something like that.
It's something. All right, well, yeah, it's welcome into the show. It's President Caslen's gone from the University of South Carolina. Some people are upset. I don't know if you've noticed that or not online, but he resigned. So I don't know. Are you upset because he quit on you? I mean,
what are they upset about?
He left. He said he wanted to leave. He resigned. So
he resigned yesterday, and they wouldn't take his resignation.
Right.
I don't know what changed, but apparently they took it today, and shing on.
Yeah. So no more President Caslen. All right. Well, we got stuff we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to. That's true. I think it's. Was he even there for the majority of his presidency? We were in COVID. His
official first day was August 1st, 2019.
Oh, okay. So we had like 6 months of no COVID president, and then the rest is COVID president. So there you go with that.
Pretty much.
Jerome
he was there to oversee the win over Georgia, though. So. Jerome he was there to oversee the win over.
Anyway, so President Caslen is gone. We'll take calls on all that in a moment. There are some people that are angry, and I think it's people that are angry because he was put in there by Governor McMaster, and I think it all ties back to, they. And I don't want to do politics on the show because then I'm just going to end up sitting here with my head in my hands, and I'm just going to wait for Jackpot to yell "fuck off," and it's just going to hurt my feelings. But it's all going to come back to they thought that McMaster was behind it, and then of course McMaster is backed by Trump, and it's just like, all right, we get it. Just all right, he resigned. Just let it go. People tweeting us about it. Crazy. So. Fireball wants to know, what are you down to now, Jackpot? A size 8, motherfucker. That's what he's down to.
about 250 pounds.
There you go, Jackpot. Doing good, man. We can talk about the baseball game last night, and then I did some of this on my show the other day, but the rankings that 247 Sports put out and the ranking they gave Shane Beamer. We're going to talk about that tonight because I got that right after we went off the air the other night, and Jackpot went full silly for about 90 seconds on me on that. Motherfucker. I mean, he was dropping. He was not happy. So we'll revisit that tonight. But let's thank our sponsors, Callaway's Bar and Grill out in West Columbia, Callaway'sBarandGrill.com. They've got some great food, great people, all at Callaway's. Retro video games and more. The only Golden Tea Lounge in the Midlands. Find them on the internet at Callaway'sBarandGrill.com. Also, DNC Trucking and Transport. The, of course, Fireside Chats with Uncle Jackpot. Jackpot, tell us a story, sir.
I want to tell you a story. What the fuck? All right. It sucks to be a Gamecock. It's been 2,350 days. I guess that's the same number of days. I'm on Pacific time today, so California jackpot. Since my team has beaten Clemson on the football field, how can my at one time elite baseball program lose to a Clemson team that is playing a bunch of freshmen? Truly sad. It's true. It sucks to be a Gamecock. Go Tigers.
That message courtesy of Dennis Wilson, DNC Trucking and Transport. We appreciate Dennis supporting the show. And as always, thanks for that. And, we got to get into the baseball game last night. And Gamecock Twitter upset last night because the Gamecocks went up to Clemson and kind of got their teeth popped in a little bit there. They lose 7-2. And if you didn't have the uniforms on the said teams, you would say that Clemson was the better team, even though Clemson right now is teetering on the brink of not being in the NCAA tournament.
So they gave up about a 415-foot home run there in the eighth inning. I thought that we were going to maybe mount a comeback when that one happened, but it wasn't to be. They scored like 3 more runs in the bottom of the eighth.
Well, I had some folks get at me on Twitter about it and talking about somebody sent me something that's like, congratulations on not getting swept. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to address it on the show here.
And I mean, like last night all over Facebook, I mean, you would have thought that Clemson just got selected to host a fucking regional or something. I mean, we're so damn happy. I've never seen in my life a fan base, not an entire fan base, because it's a very small portion of the Clemson fan base that actually, supports the sport. But the ones that are baseball fans are very excited. And I've never seen a fan base get that excited about losing a baseball series.
Well, and I'll tell you what, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Clemson baseball and Clemson basketball, to an extent, Clemson basketball even more, is on the same level as Gamecock football. When they win one game,
not really. I mean, those teams have winning. Those teams at least have winning records. I mean,
Clemson's baseball team's winning right now.
Yeah, they have winning records, so they're not on the level of Gamecock football. They're probably a notch above.
I'm talking about the perception of the program. And by the way, the people that were cheering that win last night, other than, okay, great, they won a game, congratulations, they're still on the verge of possibly making the NCAA tournament. Here's the thing with all that. Those type of fans probably don't know shit about who's on the team right now. They probably don't know that some of this is coming together with Sam Hall coming back from injury, Kier Meredith finally making the field, Sharp finally getting back on the mound a little bit. Maybe Monty Lee's getting some of the pieces together. I don't know. I'm not saying they're going to make some deep ACC tournament run. I'm just saying, as far as pivotal players, they're getting some of those guys back. That's all I'm saying. But
have you heard? Is the ACC tournament this year? They're still going to do that ridiculous Red Robin thing that they do?
You mean the round robin?
The Little Red Riding Hood, whatever it's called, round robin.
No, but you know what? Jackpot, that's what we're going to call it now from now on, is the Red Riding Hood bracket, because that's what it is.
It's retarded. What do they want?
I don't know. They want to be different, but it's just, it's sad. It's really sad. Anyway.
I mean, there's a time to be different, and then there's a time to conform and do what the fuck everybody else does. And if you want, you want to pick a champion. I mean, you have a tournament like everybody else. I mean, you don't, go out willy-nilly and do all your own shit. I guess they do, but it's crazy.
James Matthews says it's all about the launch angle. Forget about the wins and losses, according to Kingston. Look, I still think South Carolina is a pretty good baseball team. I don't know if they're like Omaha level worthy yet, but the Clemson fans that were showing their ass last night, you haven't won shit. You're 2 games over 500, and we're in May. Stop thinking that you're the absolute best ever. And, and the Gamecock fans all pissed off because they didn't get a sweep. Oh, my God. You've actually done something of relevance in baseball. You should be more concerned about the fact that you dropped 3 straight SEC series over the fact that you dropped one game to Clemson on the road.
That's true. I mean, they were an out or two away from getting swept by the state of Mississippi. They could have probably also they could probably have played
getting swept by the state of Mississippi.
They could probably have played a 3-game set against Southern Miss and getting swept too. I think they're pretty good.
Yeah, well,
I mean, who knows who we could win a series against in Mississippi? May have to be the Delta Devils or some shit.
So what you're saying is that if the Gamecocks were in the state of Mississippi, they'd be the 3rd or 4th best program. Is that where you're going?
Yeah, crazy.
It's weird for Jackpot to say something like that.
Might lose to Vicksburg Community College.
Vicksburg Community College. Well, at least your president that you're going to have will not hopefully when they do the interview process, he'll know he's at the University of South Carolina and he won't steal from other speeches from someone else. So that's a good thing. You won't be acting like Mississippi down at South Carolina, at least with President Pastides there. He knows his shit. So anyway, yeah, Jackpot. That was the fan bases were snippy with each other last night. But what do you think of Kingston, though, in your opinion? Are you a Kingston guy? Are you just going to support him because he's there? Or are you just like, fuck him, let's go somewhere else?
I mean, I have to support him because he's there, but I don't know. I have a hard time dealing with the fact that these teams, they can't hit the baseball. But they don't hit the baseball. I mean, we scored. I mean, that one game against Mississippi State, I mean, we scored 6 runs. But other than that, and last night against the Taters, I mean, holy shit. I mean, I'm just having issues with it. I'm having issues. I thought we would get someone that would, get a rebound out of this program, but it's not happening. It's not happening. I say give him one more year. If he can't, at least get back to the super regionals or something, and maybe perhaps win one. I say it's time to find someone new and go in another direction because Jesus Christ, I mean, you're getting further and further away from the days of being elite. I mean, it's not really on anybody's radar anymore.
Brock says, I wonder if Caslen will go to Auburn to reunite with Will Friend and Mike Bobo. You win, Brock. You win. That's a great line right there, man. Oh my goodness. All right, so we're gonna take calls on some of the Gamecock baseball stuff here momentarily. I wanted to do this coaching thing with you, Jackpot, because when I told you this the other night, you were not happy about it. And basically, I'm bringing up the entire article here because I gotta find it. Give me a second. Damn it. I had it just a minute ago. Oh, here we go. Grading the college sports new hires, or college football's new hires. This is from CBS Sports on May 9th. So this is a couple days ago. But I mentioned this because I got it late. So I'm going to run through some of these coaches. I'm going to tell you up front that Shaden Beamer got the lowest grade of all the coaches, which is interesting. But I'm going to run some names by you here, Jackpot. Brett Bielema at Illinois gets an A-. Remember, they fired him on the field at Arkansas.
Yeah. I mean, he ruined that program. Okay.
But he's an A-.
I mean, maybe because he has some success in the Big Ten at Wisconsin.
He was 68-24 when he was at Wisconsin, 37-19 in the Big Ten.
Yeah, I mean, he rode the coattails of who was
Barry
that?
Alvarez.
but rode the Barry Alvarez. But Barry's got some long coattails, and he rode those. So
think about this though. In theory, he left Wisconsin, which I think is one of, I would say one of the better jobs in the Big Ten, to go coach at Arkansas. Think about that for a second. Arkansas is a better job than Wisconsin, according to Brett Belima, his wife's husband.
I don't know. I don't get that totally. And it could be. People poke a lot of fun at Arkansas. They tend to forget, Arkansas has had some really good teams over the years and has some decent coaches there. They've never, really won the big one, never really gotten over the hump. But if you think about it, at the time, it was kind of like the Wisconsin of the SEC, not really record-wise, but maybe style-wise, I might say,
Jones and what was Casey Dick? That was his name.
Yeah,
Casey, the quarterback down there.
Ryan Mallett.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
But yeah, Felix Jones and Darren McFadden. But they've had strong running games, decent offensive line, decent defense at times, which kind of mirrored Wisconsin, yet not able to really break through in that way. In the getting to the upper echelon of the conference. So
once you get past Dick and Mallett, they were not very good.
No.
Just saying. Anyway, let's move along here. Brian Harsin at Auburn gets an A- jackpot. All this guy did was bring Mike Bobo and Will Friend and whoever the hell your defensive line coach was.
Tracy Rocker.
Oh yeah, Tracy Rocker. He brought all those guys down to Auburn, but he gets an
sayonara to him also.
A-. That was funny.
I don't get it. I don't get it why he didn't bring any of his coaches from the land of the Smurfs, but maybe he felt like he had to win with an SEC staff. So
maybe you got to have some of those. Let's see here. Some of the other names. Lance Leipold at Kansas gets an A-.
I can get behind that. I think that Kansas outkicked their coverage with that hire.
Okay. I think that if you tried to go to Kansas, you're already an idiot in my mind, but all right.
He had interviewed for the job at Vanderbilt. I was hoping that's who that Vanderbilt was going to hire. To get them really competitive again. That guy was winning 10, 11 games a year at fucking Buffalo. And true. Not just 1 or 2 years. And his record in Division III, where he came from before he was at Buffalo, is fucking outstanding. He won like 100 games and lost like 3.
Yeah, he was 106 at the D3 level. So
we'll
see. Clark Lee at Vanderbilt, they give him a B. A B for Clark Lee at Vanderbilt. Okay.
We went out. But Vanderbilt lost with a defensive coordinator for a head coach, a defensive-minded defensive coordinator as a head coach. Had several losing seasons. They showed him the door, and what do? They go out and they hire another defensive coordinator for head coach.
Woohoo!
They hired a white Derek Mason. What kind of sense does that make? I don't know. I don't. What's the saying? If we're bound, we do. We do what we always done. We're going to get the same result we've always had, or something like that.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. If you keep doing the same thing, you're going to be with the same results. So yeah, I'm with you on that. I don't get it. Here's the next one. I'm going to watch Jackpot's face cringe. Terry Bowden at Louisiana Monroe gets a B- Jackpot. B- for Terry Bowden. He's 64 years old. And he's at Louisiana Monroe.
Well, I mean, the only thing that could have been better was hiring Tommy Bowden. It just seems like, I don't know. It just seems like an odd fit. I mean, how can they give him, didn't he go winless like the last 2 years that he was a head coach previously?
Yeah.
I think he did. It was pretty bad.
He did lead Akron to their first bowl game and bowl win. So I guess they're flying high in Akron with
okay.
Terry Bowden.
They talk about that like the Gamecocks talk about 2011 to 2013. Akron talks about that 2017 bowl appearance.
I remember that year we went 7-5 and we won that bowl game over State. Man, Terry
what
Bowden.
bowl did they go to? The Montgomery, the Camellia Bowl or something?
I don't know, the fucking shit bowl. I don't know what it was.
GoDaddy.com. Gasparilla, but never mind. That's too
Gasparilla Bowl.
That was too lofty for them.
Butch Jones at Arkansas State gets a B.
I can get that. He's pretty solid.
We'll move on from that. I just think Butch Jones is a schmuck. Let's move on down the line. There's some other coaches on here. I'll give you Shane Beamer in a moment. Josh Heupel at Tennessee gets a C. Even though, his hiring, the athletic director lied to everyone in the room there and said, we only interviewed one person for this job at Tennessee. And that was an absolute lie because they interviewed Tony Elliott, and Tony Elliott was like, no, thank you. So he went in saying, we've only had one guy we wanted to interview, and it was Josh Heupel. That's what you've got, Tennessee. A guy who's going to lie to you from the start as your athletic director. Okay.
Brand new athletic director is going to start off by telling lies.
Telling lies. He pulled a Muschamp, was lying to people in the damn room.
Did he hire more people in his first 3 years than anybody else too?
So Heupel takes over under Liar. The athletic director is Danny White. Now he's going to be known as Liar White. Liar White, the athletic director at Tennessee, brought him in and wanted to keep the magic going from down there at Central Florida, where they can claim national titles that they didn't actually fucking win. So
did you watch the California Jackpot video that I put out that day or the next day after that came out when I went to a McDonald's drive-thru in Greenville and asked them if they had the Jeremy Pruitt special?
I watched some of it. I didn't watch all of it.
Well, it wasn't very long, so I mean, if you couldn't watch all of it, I mean, come on, it was like 30 minutes.
I'll try to be more committed, sir. I'll make an effort to be more committed. I did watch like 20 minutes of the video that was like an hour long the other day. So come on, man, I get credit for that. That's like what 30%, something like that. I'm trying, Jackpot.
30%. It's like Clemson versus South Carolina in baseball this year. 33%.
33%. That's about where I'm at. Anyway, Josh Heupel from Tennessee gets a C. And then we have Shane Beamer. Shane Beamer gets a C-. I don't know how Shane Beamer gets a C- when you got fucking Brett Bielema getting an A, but your thoughts on Beamer getting a C- down at South Carolina?
I mean, I don't think that I think they put a lot more into looking at the actual situation that these folks came into than they did the person, the coach themselves. Okay. I mean, really, how is anything but Then again, I don't know. I mean, how would Illinois be considered an A- job? I don't get it. I can understand that's going to be a tough situation for Shane. You know, the roster's been mismanaged for years. The recruiting class that is the 2021 recruiting class, I mean, absolutely horrible. I understand that. And, those things are black marks against him off the get-go. But none of these things are his fault. So I don't think they're looking into him enough. I don't think they looked in enough to the staff that he's put together, is putting, in the process of conforming to his way of doing things. So I don't know. And I think that article also was actually written several months ago, because I remember seeing the shit like in February, maybe February.
On May 9th. So that's why it came to me then. So
February, March, maybe they updated some of the stuff in it, because obviously
after the spring is what it was. It's after the spring ranking. So
when I saw it before, Shane Beamer had a C-, and that was back in the winter. I think they may have added the Lance Leopold thing in there. I mean, I'm really just not sure, but I really have a hard time believing that that's a C- higher. I don't get it.
So it said,
I mean, he wants to be here, for God's sake.
Yeah, it has a little bit to do with it. They say Shane's never been a coordinator. There were defections galore upon his hiring. 2 transferred to Florida State. Leading tackler Ernest Jones declared for the draft. Bobo, who was retained, and offensive line coach Will Friend, and of course, your defensive line coach, all left for Auburn. But but that makes him shitty, because he had guys that were shitty last year, and then they went somewhere else. So yeah, there's that. What a mess. I don't even know where to go from here on that. I don't think Shane Beamer is going to be a C- higher, though. I
don't either. I think he's going to be a home runner.
Home run higher. Well, I don't know how that's going to work out. I just thought that was some interesting stuff there. And it's interesting to say the least. That it's just the perception that people have of Beamer. And I'm somebody that's it's not my team, but it just seems like no one wants to give him a realistic shot of doing anything. They just automatically think he's at South Carolina. He's never been a coordinator. He's not worth a shit. That doesn't mean, none of that means anything. He could be, every hire is like all of his coordinators and everything have come across. People say good things about them.
Yeah. You got to look. I mean, he's been an assistant for 2 decades. I mean, he has been an assistant coach under some really successful head coaches on some really successful programs. He made a trip to the playoffs twice. I mean, for God's sake. So,
yeah,
he's pretty damn well-rounded, if you ask me. I think this is a sneaky good hire. And you might find some article out there that says the same thing. So they're all subjective.
That's true. Excuse me. I'm starting to hack like Jackpot. Well, Jackpot. Yeah. But I think he'll be better than a C- higher. We'll have to see how things will shake out. You know what? I'm going to open up the phones, 803-470-2905. Is Shane Beamer better than a C- higher? We'll take the calls, 803-470-2905 right here on the Rob and Kale Show this evening. And your thoughts on President Caslen deciding to leave the university. Also, we can talk about the baseball game. And I think there's a section of people that are, kind of feel the way you feel about Kingston. But I think there's also a bigger section of people that with Clemson that are really, really pissed right now with Monty Lee. But yeah, we could talk baseball too this evening. 803-470-2905. 803-470-2905. This is the number to call to join us here on right here on the Rob and Kale Show. James Matthews says he's a home run hire. Very good, sir. Delta 900 says Beamer has to learn something from the people he has been around. If not, we'll find out in 2 or 3 years. Rack Dogs C- is the Tater way. I don't know what that means, but okay. C-. I'm just reading all these great comments from folks over there. USC Insider says they just on Muschamp fever. Okay with that.
4-1.
Okay.
Blue Jays 4, Braves 1. What the fuck? Why can they not beat that team?
Well, they're Canadian. that's the I don't even know. The Braves have issues, man. Braves fans are funny because they seem to forget that it's 162 game season. Holy crap. They were only like, I checked the standings yesterday. They were like 2 games back, even though they were like 3 games under 500 or something. It's like 2 games back from the top of the division. So you're playing a bunch of hot dog water teams in damn division anyway. There's nobody in that division that's awesome, but hey, let's just say the Braves are shit and we can fire everybody. 162 Braves. James wants to know Caslen. Go ahead.
Never performed well against Canadian teams ever.
Yeah. James wants to know if Caslen did any push-ups on his way out. Victor's coach Beamer is a B- hire with an A+ potential. I think that's, you know what? That's not that far off. I think that's fair.
Yep.
Not too crazy. All right. Well, when we come back on Sunday, the Gamecocks playing this again. Does anybody know? Can't remember.
Kentucky.
I know Clemson's. Oh yeah, Kentucky. They're gonna play Kentucky. Kentucky. Is it in Kentucky or is it at Founders Park? I don't know. Remember?
I don't know. I think it's in Columbia. But I'm not sure.
Kentucky is one of those teams that's like right there on the fringe of being in the NCAA tournament, so they need some wins. So we'll see about that. And then Clemson plays on the road at Florida State. So there's that.
Are they any good?
I think they're ranked 10th in the country, but James says it's at Kentucky. Very good point, sir.
Okay. Then the next week's the last series. We got the Voltard next weekend. That will be at home.
Oh, okay. To 900 ones if we mentioned Colt Brennan, the former Hawaii quarterback, passing away. You know, the more you read about that story, guy, I guess, battled some issues. He was in a rehab center. I remember him being in like the Heisman conversation, and he had like he wore like a Hawaiian shirt or something. That's one thing that I remember about him. I remember him playing in a bowl game, and Hawaii kind of got the shit kicked out of him in that bowl game. Everybody was talking about, is this going to be the year that the G5 finally does something, and Hawaii going to be able to do it because Colt Brennan was such a great quarterback, and then they kind of fell flat on their nose. But
was that the?
It's how many. Go ahead, Jackpot. What
was that the year they play? The year they made it to the Sugar Bowl when June Jones was their coach, and they played Georgia, and they got their shit pushed in.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was. I'm looking it up now, but I believe it was that game. Someone says you got a great choice of beer there, Jackpot. Let's see here. I'm trying to figure. I remember. I think it was Hawaii, and I think it was Georgia, and the Georgia, like you watching that game, and everybody was worried about. Yeah, it was in 2008.
Yeah, and the Georgia fans. I remember they were all running around beating their chests after they won, like they'd done something. They slayed the Rainbow Warriors.
They won 41-10 over the Rainbow Warriors of Hawaii.
Yeah,
Way to go.
You have to kick a field goal to get it done to beat that Group 5 team.
Yeah, he got a hold of Delta 900 is correct. He got a hold of something with fentanyl in it and overdosed. Drugs are bad, man. That's all we can say here on the show. Drugs are bad.
Drugs are bad. Okay.
Okay, drugs are bad. The old South Park reference there. Jackpot and I, we're trying to do some stuff that's a little bit different. We were talking about. I was asking Jackpot when I called him earlier if he'd seen any of the A&E documentaries on. Like right now, they're doing some great wrestling documentaries. If you have A&E, they did one on. It's like I think it's a 10-part series, and then you've got the Dark Side of the Ring stuff, which is outstanding. I mean,
that's on Vice TV, and I don't have that, but I have to watch those on YouTube because they put them up normally like the next day. And I don't have A&E on. A&E doesn't come in on YouTube TV either, but I've been able to watch them on the A&E app, the Stone Cold Steve Austin one I'm watching right now, and the one on Macho Man is also you can watch that one without, and then the other ones have a key beside them, so I guess you got to unlock it. I guess you have to pay them some fucking money or something. So you can.
They'll be on YouTube later, but. It's the one on Stone Cold was actually really good. What's up, Andre? One on Stone Cold was actually really good. The one on the Macho Man was, some folks were saying it was kind of a hit piece on the Macho Man, but
I mean, how can you really? I mean, he's been dead 10 years, right? I think it is right at about 10 years he's been gone. First name Macho, last name Man.
On the boots. Macho Man was great, but that. So we may talk about some of those in the big time. Hey, wonder how much cocaine he was on. UFC Insider says he saw the Mick Foley one. Yeah, we're watching I'm watching Dark Side of the Ring. I watched the one on Brian Pillman, and the one angle that I'll always remember in wrestling. You remember when they broke Dusty's arm, when the Four Horsemen broke Dusty's arm. I'll never forget that for as long as my life.
I'm pretty sure who I can't remember which one it was. I think it was Arn that broke his arm with the bat.
Yeah. Arn Anderson hit him. Yeah.
I think Ole and Tully Blanchard actually tied his arm down to his car. And I remember J.J. Dillon being there too, and he was slapping him in the face and shit. And I think then, of course, the old enforcer
decided
did the whack job.
But I'll always remember that, and I'll always remember the bit where Steve Austin went to Brian Pillman's house, and Brian Pillman pulls a gun on him. And I'm like, is this fucking real?
Yeah.
And they cut away. It was just insane. Troy says Macho Man had Elizabeth. That's all you need to know. Yeah. I don't know, but we may talk about some of those too.
It's all Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan. I looking at Elizabeth with lust in your eye.
I wish that I could do the Macho Man voice, but I just
I can't. I try to do that one.
I just don't have it. He was so great. But within the next month, we're going to start looking at schedules, and we're going to start doing some team previews. And it's easy.
Just so much easier to do. Those are a lot easier to do for me anyway. When now you have
somebody's calling us. Hold on. Let's see who this is. Hold on.
Probably Megan.
Good evening. Welcome into the show.
Hey, well, how you doing?
What's going on?
Not much. Hey, well, can I talk to Kelly Jackpot for a minute?
He's listening, brother.
Sure.
Yeah. Hey, Kelly Jackpot, how you doing? It's me, Justin.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing good. Hey, Kelly Deppa. I feel good today because I glad Bob Caslen's gone. I hope Sockeye gets a good person. What are your thoughts on this?
You're breaking up a little bit, my.
Yeah, he wants to know, he wanted to know who your thoughts were on with Caslen being gone. What were your thoughts on Caslen leaving? And
I don't know. I think he was just a giant disappointment, to be honest with you. But at the same time, what he was able to do was kind of limited, I guess. Dealing with the fact that it has been a COVID era since he's been
here.
But when we when he first arrived on the scene, we were told, this is a guy, he's a former athlete, and he was big time involved in the athletic program at the U.S. Military Academy at West Point, and he's going to hold Will Muschamp and Ray Tanner accountable, and blah blah this, blah blah that. And just turned out to be a huge disappointment. None of that really happened, and I think money was a huge factor with the Will Muschamp deal. The guy, he probably wanted him fired after 2019, but we just, he couldn't. It just didn't happen. So after that, and then I think it just kind of fell out of favor with everybody. So and I don't know. I don't care. I think that the Harrison Pastides stepping in as an interim president is a good thing, I guess. But it remains to be seen. We're going to have to hopefully a president will show up for this university that finally decides to hold Ray Tanner accountable for being the athletic director, since the athletic program is his fucking job. And maybe they'll see that he does it or gets the hell out. But other than that, really.
So you're on the train. You want Ray Tanner to go? Does that? I've never heard you say that, or maybe.
Well, honestly, all of his hires have been, except for we can't say anything about Shane Beamer yet because we haven't seen how that's going to pan out. But all the rest of his hires have been, not really that good. So, this is a make or break one for him. Make or break.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that works out. I don't know. I didn't think that they would let him select the new coach. I really don't. But I thought that he would just retire after Muschamp went on. But there you go with that.
Muschamp is enough to would be probably enough to make you want to fucking retire and never make another hire again.
Well, anyway, I know we're gonna do previews on. Jackpot, I just have to be honest with you. I want to do I want to do previews on the good teams in the SEC and the good teams in the ACC. So for me to sit here and tell you
the ACC has good teams.
We can do North Carolina. If we're being real here, we could do North Carolina. We could do Miami. We could probably do Florida State. And maybe NC State, and of course Clemson, but and Boston College, because I think they're going to be decent. But
Boston College is on the rise.
That's what I'm saying. But I think that, in my opinion, I want to do stuff on those teams, but it's going to be hard for me to get jacked up to preview fucking Duke.
So you don't think Virginia is going to be good?
We could have a straw poll on Virginia and Virginia Tech.
You don't think Pitt's going to be any good? I think Pitt's winning in Knoxville.
That's fine, but I don't want to do a show where we talk about fucking Duke and freaking Vanderbilt, and it's just we may eliminate some of those teams, but
Vanderbilt's got a good new coach. I got to be higher. I mean, we got to give them some kind of attention. Got to give them some kind of love. People are going to be out there looking for that. They're going to be looking at, man, that damn 24, that damn CBS poll had Clark Lee as a B hire. I want to see my Vanderbilt preview and see what's up.
Tony Jackson says Georgia Tech. Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying I want to do previews, but I want to do previews on teams that are worth a shit. Is basically what it boils down to. So I was thinking we could exit out some of the teams. Like I don't want to do Syracuse. I don't want to do
struggled Syracuse last year.
God, we'd have to figure it out, but I don't want to.
That's not a surprise. The Tater Man wants nothing to do with Syracuse. Y'all see?
Look, I could do a preview on every damn team that's out there. I was just trying to have a stuff that's captivating. How many people want a preview on fucking Syracuse? Raise your hand. That 0. It's just Jackpot wants to give me shit because they beat Clemson 3 years ago on a fucking Friday night in the middle of the damn nowhere up in New York. But I'm just saying, I want to do like with the SEC teams, I don't know. Randall says TJ Finley is leaving LSU and entering the transfer portal. There was one article that talked about him possibly one of the spots fit for him would be South Carolina. Broccoli's an asshole and raising his hand for the Syracuse thing. That's great. Thanks, Brock.
Well, I mean, he definitely knows about beating Gamecock ass. So I don't know. Pray.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we're gonna have those previews coming up for you here in the next month, and I'd rather have a preview of Coastal Carolina and ULL than Duke and Vandy. Good point, Andre.
I'm telling you, Vandy's just waiting to break out. Y'all sleeping on them.
Fuck out of here. It's gonna be hard for me to do all that. Well, we'll work that out though. We're gonna have some fun with some previews because it's gonna be here before you know it. I will be at ACC kickoff in Charlotte, so I'm looking forward to that in the end of July.
It's hard to believe that Vanderbilt hasn't beaten the Gamecocks since George W. Bush was in office.
Yeah. And that's generally, I think I read something where it's like, other than that game, when South Carolina lost to Vanderbilt, they always change coaches. So, yeah, that's what I read. It's like Brad Scott lost to him. They changed coaches. I can't remember, but it was like, I don't know. I'm stupid when it comes to that kind of thing. It's just something I read. It was like losing to Vanderbilt means you probably lose your job unless you're Steve.
Lou Holtz didn't lose to Vanderbilt. Steve Spurrier actually lost to Vanderbilt a couple of times.
Well, didn't wait a minute. Holtz had to lose one game because they went 0-11 one year.
He did. He lost in 1999. You're right. I remember that because I was at that game. Because that was so fucking embarrassing. Vanderbilt took an intentional safety with 50 seconds left in the game or something and ran the ball out the back of the end zone. They were winning 9-8. They ran the ball out the back of the end zone because they weren't afraid to kick off the Gamecocks on the free kick or whatever. Because the offense was just so fucking abysmal that they knew there wasn't going to be problems there. And
that was 1999?
1999, yeah. My friend Matthew Harris, pretty much, I believe, were at that game. And in the end zone, like right at the top of the upper deck. After they added that little upper deck in the end zone, we're just like, holy shit, this is bad.
Yeah, the 1999, they won in Columbia 11-10. Now,
11, yeah.
Put this into perspective. Vanderbilt has won 4 games against South. They're 4 for 30. Okay, so they had a 2-game win streak, 98 and 99, And then they had a 2-game win streak in 2007 and 2008. So South Carolina's kind of owned Vanderbilt. Jackpot, that's what we'll finish the show with tonight.
And
What
the
is a game-
2017 was undefeated. No, the 2017 had one loss, and they were ranked like in the top 5. If you'll remember that, they had lost to LSU, but they had won some other games. They beat Kentucky at home, and Kentucky was really good that year. They were nationally ranked too, like in the top 10, and we smoked them at home. And then we come out the next week, and as Uncle Lou would say, push a plastic plate on the 50-yard line and drop a big fat deuce on it for 4 quarters and lose to fucking Vanderbilt.
What is your game that you two went to that was the most embarrassing? We can do that before we leave tonight. What's the game that you went to in your existence with South Carolina that you lost or was like, oh my God?
Probably the 1988 Florida State game. They lost. I mean, and they were ranked like 4th, 5th, something like that. And South Carolina was ranked like number 12. And that was South Carolina had started off undefeated. And then for some fucking reason, they go down to fucking Georgia Tech. When Georgia Tech was fucking like 0-11 the year before. And when Bobby Ross was their coach, you remember Bobby Ross that came from Maryland? Anyway, and South Carolina goes down to Georgia Tech. It was fucking horrible. We were like 2 touchdown favorites, and just for some damn reason, lose to them 34-0. That would have probably been the most embarrassing loss if I had went to that game. But then they rebounded. They beat NC State. And then that steroid scandal thing came out around that time too. So I don't know what happened. Then we play Florida State at home. And you know, we're like, we got a really good chance to upset them. You know, it could happen.
Not so much.
No, the quarterback, Peter Tom Willis was his name. I think he threw for like 400 yards, which was like unheard of. Back in the day, we lost 59 to Dick. Bum, 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 bum.
You know, with mine, I made the mistake of going in 2004 to Durham with Clemson playing football up there in Durham in 2004. And this is Clemson's playing Duke, and Duke was just shitty back then. I mean, shitty on top of shitty, but the Clemson team wasn't really that good either. But we go up there, and it's like a high school stadium up there. We're all decked out, and we look like we're actual football fans, and all the fucking Duke fans are like, "Where's the next basketball game?" The Duke kicker lines up for like a 50-something yard field goal as time expired. He'd missed 2 field goals beforehand, if I remember correctly. He hit the fucking piss out of that ball. And I'm sitting in the end zone or on the right side of the end zone. And I watched that ball, go across, and I'm like, we lost to fucking Duke. We lost to fucking Duke. What am I doing here? And you're like, all the fans that were there were like, stunned because they're thinking, oh, well, this is Clemson. They're going to come in here and mouth pump us. Nah, we got our dick kicked in by fucking Duke with a damn 5'2" kicker kicking a damn 50-yard plus field goal as time expired. And tens of fans when in the Duke Blue were happy as Duke gets the win. I was man, that and then Clemson basketball, we were playing Virginia. This is in Oliver Purnell's first year. And he had Marion Hobbs. I'll never forget him. Marion Hobbs has passed away now. Hobbs is out there trying to play, and they're playing against Virginia, who wasn't really good that year. Clemson was up by like, I think 15 with 2 minutes to go. They the student section started shaking the keys at the Virginia bench or whatever. Yeah. We're up there in Little John, everybody's all happy and we finally won a conference game. Yeah, not so much. They come back, hit a 3, down by 15, they end up tying it, sending it to overtime, and we lost by double digits. Went from 15 points up with 3 minutes to go to losing by double digits in overtime.
Although another really bad performance, and I think at one time on here we may have shown a clip of the coach, the interview at halftime or after the game or whatever when South Carolina played East Carolina. Yeah, it was 94-ish. Yeah, I think it was Brad Scott's first year because Tannehill was there, and we lost like 56-42. They absolutely just got fucking shredded. Terrible. I mean, they were behind like 28.
Were you at that game?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Fucking horrible. It was fucking horrible in that defense. Oh my God. I mean, last year, you think the Muschamp defense like against Ole Miss and Texas A&M was fucking horrible. It was nothing compared to. I mean, they had wide open holes. I mean, I remember the fucking they did a fucking fake punt or a fake field goal, and the tight end just ran down the seam. I mean, he's just fucking like wide open. There's nobody within 15 yards of this guy. Catches a touchdown. Should go back, look that up. It's on YouTube. South Carolina versus East Carolina from 1994. The highlights of it are on there. Oh my God.
Yeah, I remember that, but like I remember being with my I remember selling I think I for some reason I remember being at a game at Williams-Brice where I want to say it may have been 92. I think it was 92 was like in the middle of a fucking rainstorm. And it was like flooding so bad and East Carolina won that game and I'm like my grandmother got me a ticket to go to this game, but like she just thought I'd like to go to a football game. So I'm like, I don't know why I'm here, but all right. And
I remember that. I mean, I remember seeing that. It was like there was water pouring out of the upper deck.
Yeah, it was just insane. But I remember, I think it was 92 in Columbia. Yeah, it was 20-18 was the final as East Carolina gets in the mix there. But Troy's right. All you got to say is Tommy fucking Bowden. But I remember East Carolina had a pretty good team, man. They weren't that bad. They were pretty good.
Yeah, they've been decent in the past. They've been decent, and they've also been really shitty.
Well, we're going to have another show for you coming up here on Sunday. We appreciate you guys checking us out. Please like the video. Tell your friends about us. We're going to hopefully put out some good content. So thank you guys for checking out the show, and we shall see you on Sunday.